Good morning, everyone. In today's presentation, I will be talking about how to develop employees' motivation. Before I begin, I would like to say that all the information that I will be explaining is based on the feedback that you have given me. All right, so let's begin with our satisfaction. After I did the questionnaire, I realized that most of the employees right now are not happy, and we can say that this is our level of satisfaction or motivation right now. But there's good news because at the end of the presentation, we will know what are the keys and the changes we need to make to go from unhappy employees to happy ones and also write this level. All right. For today's agenda, we will be going over 6 points, which are goals and expectations, ability to perform, reinforcement, salience, equity, and time bound. In addition to this, I will also talk about 3 changes that will be made to solve 3 problems that I've realized the company has. So let's begin with goals and expectations. So far, the company has done a pretty good job following the SMART method. Goals are specific, measurable, and also relevant, and this is because all the employees know what their goal and expectations are. However, they are not achievable and not into the time bound, and this is because there's too much work that cannot be done in the time frame given. Let's continue with ability to perform. Alright, so all the employees have an educational background, and this means that they have the knowledge and they are capable of performing their job. However, there's lack of training when it comes to when they are just hired and also when new technology is introduced. But we will be talking about this later on in the day. When it comes to reinforcement, it looks like all of you feel personal satisfaction by doing the job properly and also are happy when you receive recognition and prizes towards the job well done. However, it looks like most of you have been doing extra hours that have not been paid. When it comes to salience, this one is a pretty easy one. When I was doing the questionnaire, I mentioned introducing the Employee of the Month prize. However, this is not what you all want to do. In contrast, you agreed that you want to keep doing that you enjoy doing receiving recognition. Excuse me. However, you would like to receive also economic rewards. Equity. All right. So most of you have told me that you are happy with the amount of money you receive and the wages that your coworkers receive because they are proportional to the amount of work and the responsibility towards their position. However, there's too big of a gap between employees and chiefs pay rise, but we will talk about this later on in the presentation too. Finally, timeliness. When it comes to job satisfaction, you are satisfied with the position and you are aware that since it's a small business, the probabilities of getting promoted are pretty small. So you are happy with just getting an economic reward. Also, when it comes to feedback, we will continue doing all the weekly meetings to go over the new goals and to see if the expectations were met for the previous week. All right, time for some change. The first problem has to do with training. As I mentioned before, job shadowing or teaching yourself has not been a good approach for us. So the solution will be very easy. The company will provide extra training for the new employees and will also be willing to pay for courses for you to learn how to use the new computer programs and software. And this will help us rise one more step in our motivation and satisfaction scale. All right, so let's move on into the second problem, which is has to do, with reinforcement. As I mentioned before, lots of you are working extra hours and those extra hours are not being paid. So the solution to this is pretty simple. In addition to the fixed wage that you already receive, if you work extra hours, you will receive a bonus. And this will help us be so close to our goal of reaching the highest motivation level possible. Alright, so the last problem has to do with equity. Employees only receive pay rise if the company has a positive outcome at the end of the year. However, chiefs receive it no matter what, if it's a positive or a negative outcome. But this is gonna change because pay rise would only occur if at the end of the year the company has a positive outcome, and there will be no exceptions made when it comes to positions. And this will help us reach our motivational level. And I would like to finish this presentation by saying this quote which says, "By changing nothing, nothing changes." In other words, we now know the problems, we've gone over the solutions, so it's in our hands to make the change. I would like to thank you all for being here and listening to me. I'll see you in the next meeting.